So this video is going to show you how to use Gmail and some of the ways that you can organize your emails and respond to emails. So first of all, to get to Gmail, you could just type in mail.google.com, or you could go to the waffle and the Gmail symbol, or there's even just a link straight to Gmail from Google homepage. And then here, this is where all your emails come. You can send an email by going to the plus to compose, and filling it like you normally would. But in the exam, you need to know how to create a label to organize your emails. And this is actually really useful in many ways. So I'm just going to show you, I've got an email here from user one asking for help. And user one has said, I've forgotten how to create an assignment in Google Classroom. So I'm busy right now, but I do want to respond to this person. I also want to label this as tech support for one of my maybe members of staff or a student, so that I can find these quickly in future. And the way you can do that is if you go up to the top of the email, there's a symbol. It looks like a kind of baggage label. And if you click that, you can create a new one. There's already some preset labels here, but I'm going to create a new label called tech support. And you can nest them underneath other ones sometimes if you've got lots of labels and you're very organized, but I'm just going to create that label. And as you can see here, it's now labeled as inbox and tech support. And over here on the left, where it's created the label here. So now if I click that label, it will show me all of the emails that I've labeled as tech support. At the moment, that's only one. And you can customize this and change the color. So maybe I'll make that red so it stands out. So now when I go back to my inbox, I can see tech support really big. Sometimes I keep them unread if I want to find them quickly and show that I've got a few things I still need to do. Another thing that you might find useful, this isn't on the exam, but the snooze button. If you get an email and you want to deal with it, but not right now, you can snooze it until later today or till tomorrow or any of these preset times, or you can select a particular date and time. And what happens if you snooze it, it actually disappears from your inbox. And it's a nice way of feeling like you've done something when you haven't. And then at the specified time, it will come back into your inbox. And if you need to find it, it is under snoozed, I think. Oh yeah, there it is, snoozed. So I can unsnooze it if I need to. So another thing you might want to do is to add this to your tasks. So Google Tasks is a separate kind of app where you can keep a list of the jobs you need to do. And at the top, again, if you go to this, it looks like a kind of circle with a tick. You can add an email straight to your tasks and it will open up in the sidebar. And you can add more details here. So you could add some information. You could choose a date or time when you want to get it done by. And then if you ever want to open your tasks, you could either in another tab, you can go to your tasks, or if the side panel's not showing, if you go down to the bottom right, there's an arrow there and you can open up your tasks directly from Gmail and you can find it there. And then when you've done it, you can tick it off. But I haven't done it yet, so I'll leave it there. And if you ever need to, you can always click the link to the email and it will open that up for you. So that's really all you need to know for the exam, how to create a label, and then it will ask you to go to your emails and then select a few emails, specific emails that they want you to add to a particular label. So now I've added a couple of emails to the tech support label. And it will ask you at one point to add one of your emails to a task. So if you're only interested in taking the exam, you might want to pause the video there or stop it here. But I'm just going to show you a few other really useful features for day-to-day use of Gmail. So one example is if you ever send an email, so imagine if I replied to this person and said something rude, like maybe I was a bit grumpy and I just said, find it out yourself. And then I click send. You've got a few seconds to click undo down in the bottom left. So I don't know if you've ever sent an email that says, "Oh, find the attached document," and then you as soon as you've sent it, you realise you forgot to attach the document and you're embarrassed, or maybe you've accidentally clicked reply all. I'm sure everyone's got an embarrassing story about that. But I'm going to go up to the settings now, the settings cog, and then see all settings. And from here, you can actually extend, by default, your undo send cancellation period is set for 5 seconds. That means the email doesn't actually send when you click send for 5 seconds, and then it gets released. Once it's gone to the other person's inbox, there's kind of nothing you can do really. But if you want, you can change that to 30 seconds. So that might be useful if you have ever found yourself in that embarrassing situation. But here you do have to click save. So you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom and click save changes. And now if I reply with something rude, like do it yourself, I've got 30 seconds while I think about, was that maybe a bit rude? And eventually, if I click undo, it pulls it back and I can write something more polite. So undo send is really useful. Another useful feature is to send a template reply. So if I get lots of requests like this, and I find myself writing the same emails and typing them out again and again, there's a way you can create some templates and really easily send those as replies or straight to people. Again, you have to go to the settings and all settings, and then over here you have to go to the advanced tab, and there's a few kind of useful things that you might want to find out more about. But for now, we'll just look at enabling the templates. So you have to turn it on to enabled. And again, at the bottom, if you click save changes, now what I can do is I can just create from a blank email, maybe Google support. And then I could just say, hello, I will try and fix your issue, but in the meantime, have a search online, because there are so many answers to the kind of simple questions people often ask me. Thanks, Luke. And yeah, they just need to search online and it will find the answer. Often that's all I do is search online and send them the link, and they realize they could have done that themselves. So now the 3 dots, I'm going to go to templates. That wouldn't have been there if you had it turned off. And now I'm going to do save draft as template. So that means it's going to save the content on here to a new template. I'm going to save it as a new one. I've got a couple already. And I'm going to call this Google support, which is just recognized. So now I can close out or delete that, it doesn't matter. But when I reply to this person, I can just, when I click reply, if I go down to the 3 dots in the bottom right and I go to templates and I click Google support, it will put that in, or whatever I typed into the box. So you could even have a link here to like the online page where lots of the answers are, and then you can click send, if that's helpful. So yeah, the template replies are really useful. Another useful feature is the advanced search feature. So sometimes if you're looking for a particular email that was sent a long time ago, if you use this the arrow at the end of the search bar, you can really specify exactly what you're looking for. You can search for emails from a particular person or to a particular address, or by the subject, or words that were included or that weren't included. So there's really useful things that you can do with this advanced search feature. So maybe I want to find something that was around the beginning of term last year. So I might look for maybe September. It was around the beginning, but I can't remember exactly. So I'm just going to say plus or minus 3 days from the 1st of September. And you can search particular labels if you've got lots of labels. And so that's an easy way to find emails that can get lost. But also if you've got, maybe if I put user 1, if I want to create a filter, so maybe I'll cancel this now. If I want to create a filter, what that will do is anytime that someone that user 1 emails me, then when I click create filter, it says, well, what do you want to do with that? So from now on, if user 1 emails me, maybe I want to star it because it's important, or maybe I want to apply a certain label because user 1 always asks me for tech support, or maybe I want to skip the inbox so it doesn't fill up my inbox and it just goes, like here I've got a label called Google Classroom because I get lots of emails from Google Classroom, and I've set a filter so that if it's from Google Classroom, it skips the inbox and it goes directly to this label. So there's lots of things you can do there that might be quite useful as well. And the last thing that I'm going to show you is confidential mode. So if you want to send an email to someone, down here where it's got like a padlock and a clock, confidential mode can be really, really powerful. So you can set expiry dates on your emails for them to expire in, well, however long you want. And this also means that, like it says here, recipients won't have the option to forward or copy or print or download the email. Now do bear in mind, they might be able to like take a photo with their phone of the screen. So there might be a way for them to keep a record of it, but they won't be able to easily forward it on or download it. You can also add a second level of security. So you can ask for a SMS passcode to be texted to their number, but for this to work, you need to know their mobile number. You don't have to send any messages, but you do. If I went ahead with that and I sent it to someone, it would ask me what is their mobile number. And then Google will send them a text when they try and open the email, and they'll need to have their phone with them. So that could be really useful if you ever have to send any sensitive information. Okay, so I hope that video was useful, and there are some tasks for you to have a go at completing now. So good luck.